Are the judges ready? Is the timer ready? Affirmative team? Good morning. My partner, Jane Marion, and I, Kendall Snow, stand against the resolution of the United States government significantly curtailing its domestic surveillance. Americans find value in implementing surveillance. While this may seem like a bold statement, Americans willingly buy Ring doorbells, home security cameras, baby monitors, and other forms of surveillance. While all Americans might not be fond of being recorded, they see the value in it and overlook its inconvenience because they value their safety and the security of their families over complete and total privacy. Furthermore, over 40 million Americans willingly allow themselves, their families, and their children to be spied on by the Chinese Communist Party every single day through the dangerous, popular social media app TikTok. Quote, on TikTok, a Chinese-owned social media platform with over 40 million American users, probably a lot of your kids and younger colleagues, accounts criticizing CCP policies are routinely removed or deleted, end quote. Source, National Security Advisor Robert C. O'Brien, 2020. If there is any problem with surveillance of any kind or being spied on, that problem stems from the Chinese Communist Party, not any domestic surveillance which is implemented by the U.S. government to promote your safety and security. Quote, the CCP is seeking leverage over individual Americans as well. The party is collecting your most intimate data, your words, your actions, your purchases, your whereabouts, your health records, your social media posts, your texts, and mapping a network of your friends, family, and acquaintances. The effort to control thought beyond the borders of China is well underway. The challenge the Chinese Communist Party poses to the United States and our allies is of critical importance to us right now. Furthermore, source, National Security Advisor Robert C. O'Brien, 2022. Furthermore, in 2022, Senator Rubio stated, quote, this is about an app that is collecting data on tens of millions of American children and adults every day. Observation 1, definitions. We accept the definitions of the affirmative team. We also present the following definitions. American domestic surveillance. Quote, to collect, process, and store U.S. citizen data for the good of the nation, end quote. Source, Domestic Surveillance Directorate. Foreign surveillance. Quote, establishes procedures and for the authorization of electronic surveillance, use of PIN registers and trap and trace devices, physical searches, and business records for the purpose of gathering foreign intelligence. Source, the Bureau of Justice Assistance. The Chinese Communist Party. The CCP is an organization that has fully adopted Marxist-Leninism. It has a public goal of a community of common destiny for mankind, with a communist totalitarian ideology that poses an immediate threat to American security. Source, National Security Advisor Robert C. O'Brien, 2020. Spying. The act of watching closely and secretly to gather secret information. Source, Webster's New World Dictionary, 2003. TikTok, a social media app that is owned by ByteDance, which is legally required to share the app's data with the CCP. This app allows for the American people to be spied on by the CCP. And the FBI director, FCC commissioners, and cybersecurity experts have all issued warnings about the app. Source, Senator Rubio and Representative Gallagher, 2022. Observation 2, harms. If the affirmative team's resolution is accepted, these catastrophic things are going to happen. Harm 1. Crime would increase immensely. America would become more dangerous, barbaric, and less structured. Offenders would be more compelled to break the law and cause destruction and chaos. The MTAS Research and Information Center stated that surveillance deters violent crime. With the affirmative team's resolution, crime, especially violent crime, would prosper. Harm 2. More offenders would escape the law and be free to commit more crimes. They would not be punished fairly for their transgressions. With less information, data, video footage, and resources, it is even more difficult to convict an offender beyond a reasonable doubt. Source, the MTAS Research and Information Center, 2016. Harm 3. Since it would be more difficult to prosecute criminals, there would be less justice for victims of crimes. Less families who lost a child, sibling, parent, relative, or friend from a crime would have closure. They would live in fear that violent criminals would cause more destruction in their lives. Observation 3. Plan. The affirmative team presented a vague and insufficient plan that did not include the government curtailing any surveillance. Our plan, however, is to maintain the status quo of allowing the U.S. government to use surveillance to protect the people of America. We plan to focus on more pressing issues, like ending the national security threat that TikTok poses on America and stopping the Chinese Communist Party from gathering sensitive data and spying on our country. Going far back to 2020, individuals, especially National Security Advisor Robert C. O'Brien, were aware, intensely concerned, and unsettled about the CCP. O'Brien stated, quote, "When the Chinese Communist Party cannot buy your data, it steals it. In 2014, the CCP hacked the Anthem Insurance, collecting sensitive information on 80 million Americans. In 2015, the CCP hacked the Office of Personnel Management, which holds security clearance information, acquiring data on 20 million Americans who work for the federal government. In 2017, it hacked Equifax, obtaining names, birth dates, social security numbers, and credit scores of 145 million Americans. In 2019, the CCP hacked Marriott, gathering information on 383 million guests, including their passport numbers. And in 2016, a Chinese company even bought the dating app Grindr to harvest its data, including the HIV status of users. These are just a few of the instances we know about," end quote. Out of concern for the American people, their safety and privacy, it is our duty to address this massive hazard. We plan to preserve the status quo while diverting our attention to the CCP. Observation 4. Advantages. If we maintain the status quo, these things are going to continue to happen. Advantage 1. Crime will continue to be deterred, and American streets will stay safe. A 2019 website by ConnectUsFund.org communicated that domestic surveillance is an efficient way to effectively prevent crimes before they are committed. They explained that this method is more beneficial since it has a proactive approach to stopping crime. Advantage 2. Criminals will be put behind bars instead of being allowed to commit more violations. An Urban.org website by Nancy Vigne explained that detectives benefit from having surveillance as a resource and how data and camera footage can cause breakthroughs in cases. Domestic surveillance will continue to provide additional leads in cases and provide evidence in courtrooms. Advantage 3. Since criminals will be prosecuted, there will continue to be justice for victims. Families can have closure. They can be comforted and encouraged that the correct person is behind bars and capable of causing more destruction to their families. In conclusion, it is beneficial for law-abiding citizens to preserve the status quo, and only criminals would benefit from the resolution. There are more severe and pressing issues that threaten the privacy of Americans, such as TikTok and the CCP. I urge the judges to vote against the resolution. Thank you. I'm now ready for cross-examination.